too.
G'day guys, just with the weekly lap this week, we thought we'd do a bit of a catch up with, or as I mentioned last week, we're going to catch up with a few different people through the weekly lap, and I'm pretty excited this week. We've got old mate Mick Nolan from Mick Prices. You're the backbone of this place here, mate. Anything you want to know about what's going on, just get on to old mate and he lets me know what's going on here. Unfortunately, you're finishing up, mate.
Yeah, I'm finishing up Christmas time.
Yeah.
I've been here 16 years. I came to Melbourne from Queensland for a holiday. I'm still here. So not that I'm going back to Queensland, but I'm getting to it. I'm 65 and just want to go out on my own and do a semi-retirement.
Sounds like a good plan. 16 years is a long time. Just quickly, we'll touch on you and where you've been. You've been around a few good trainers in your time, mate. Where'd you start out, and who have you been with?
I haven't been that much with. I worked for Bart Cummings back in the 70s, but I've mainly lived on the land, and I was more cattle and horses. I was driving and buying and selling cattle and farming and that sort of stuff. And then I worked with Michael Nolan, my cousin, in Queensland in the late 90s. And I trained a few for myself, and I had a couple of horses in work, and then went sore. So I knew a bloke that worked for Mick Price, so I came down here and for a holiday in the spring carnival, and I worked for Tony Vassell for 12 months. Then I decided to go home, and I went home, and I thought it was when I got off the plane, I thought it was a public holiday. It was that quiet up there, and I thought, I don't know whether I can live here anymore. So I got on the plane the next day and come back.
Yeah,
I've
right.
worked for Mick ever since.
It would have been interesting days with Bart Cummings, wouldn't it? How long were you with him for?
Oh, only not long.
Yeah.
He had a stable in Fisher Parade. I think it was 20 boxes, and every one of them was a Group 1 winner.
Really?
Not a Group 1 horse. So he had Leilani, capped on TVs, Think Big, all those good. He had a lot of good horses.
Yeah, geez, that's incredible. That's great knowledge. You've been around some nice horses.
It was just when he bought Saintly Lodge. He's only just bought it.
Oh, yeah, right.
I lived there in Leonard Crescent.
Yeah, okay.
Like a lot of he had oodles of horses.
Yeah, that would have been an incredible time. 16 years here, horses with Mick Price. You've seen a few nice ones come through. Some nice 2-year-olds. What's the standout for your memories here?
A few standouts. Lincoln Rupee, possibly you'd say, was the best. The autumn that he won the Oakley Plate, the Newmarket and the TJ Smith, there wouldn't have been a horse in the world that would have beat him. And he wouldn't have beat Black Caviar, but he would have made a bigger challenge than other horses. But that particular couple of months he was just humming. He probably never ever got back to that. Number of reasons, whatever, probably why Winks and them are such great horses. They do it year in, year out. Most horses only do it for one season. There was another horse called Light Fantastic, was probably the most brilliant horse we ever had here, in my opinion. But he did have a few issues which restricted him. But
What was he by? Light Fantastic? He was
Bob Scarborough's. I think he was in Costa del Lago.
Costa del Lago, that's right. Yeah.
Oh no, he might have been a Danehill Dancer. Sorry, he was a Danehill Dancer. He was a grey.
Yep.
He went out and galloped one morning, and I said to that bloke, you're supposed to gallop, not just canter. I looked down the clock and he ran 10.8. He was one of those horses that used to look like they were going slow, but they were flying.
Yeah.
But probably the toughest and the best horse that I ever seen here was Pompey Roller. He was a freak. I think he did every suspensory that you can do, and every time he was a freak, the horse. If he used to pound the ground real hard. If he had been a sound horse, he could have been anything. But they were probably the 3 best horses. But the 3 2-year-olds, Extreme Choice, Flying Artie and Samaretti were also. The day Samaretti won the Blue Diamond, wouldn't have been a 2-year-old in the world beater.
Yep.
Probably should have won the Slipper, Extreme Choice and Flying Artie.
How was the Blue Diamond?
And the next big thing is Profiteer.
I was waiting for that one. We're always going to roll around to that. There was all the 2-year-olds coming. Not that I was leading into that one. Just a quick one. We're talking off camera about colts and Profiteer and how professional he is as a colt, and he's like an old gelding. You had Lincoln Rupee before, and obviously before he was gelded, and then after he's gelded. Obviously, he just showed a bit of potential as a stallion, but couldn't put it together.
Well, he was a bit different. He was a weak.
Yep. Oh, right. Yep.
And he had a testicle that was causing him pain. He was not hard to handle, but he just probably wasn't letting himself go. But the thing that Profiteers have got in common with Extreme Choice and Flying Artie is that they both had gun temperaments.
Yep.
And you know, Profiteer was the times he's run was sensational. Extreme Choice and Flying Artie didn't do any better their first start, but they improved. So if Profiteer comes back, finds a length or two, it'll be very, very competitive.
Fingers crossed.
Well,
Fingers
no one
crossed.
knows that. That's up to the horse.
That's right, exactly.
But
right.
he shows, like most 2-year-olds, he sort of was rocking and rolling with it. He was going to go over the top a couple of weeks. He got over it and he kicked back and toughed him. And he's got some great signs to be a good horse.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive signs there. We'll just fingers crossed. We'll just keep him there, and hopefully he can come back. And as you say, he's going to have to improve a length or two. Some do, some don't. We'll work it out. We'll be on the phone to you when you're kicking up there in Queensland in your budgie smugglers, and we'll be sending you a message saying thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I hope he does for you because you've been very good people to work with. And of all the, the three of you, you're never an issue, you never whinge, never complain, you're very easy to get along with, so I wish you all the best in the future.
That's one of our mottos. You employ someone to do a job and you don't get in the way of doing it. It's their job, so that's what we let you do. Before I let you go, mate, I just want to, myself, Lee and Rob have got a bit of a tipping competition going together to see who's the best tipster or the best judge of horses. I rely pretty heavily on the stables and the jockeys that I interview to give me a hand. It's been going absolutely terrible for me, so absolutely terrible. I'm getting towed up by these other blokes. So I'm going to hit you up. There's one in race 3 on Saturday, race 3, number 3, sensationalisation. I don't mind it. I think it's going to be my tip this week. Can you back me up?
Yeah, she'll be hard to beat.
Yep.
She's just like the only thing, she's one of maiden. She's got to go into town. But as long as she does it, she'll be very hard to beat. She's a nice filly.
Yep, righto. So that'll be me this
Best
week.
tip I can give you is follow this horse behind me.
Yeah, that's the other one we've got here behind us, the Ifraj gelding Ayrton. He was pretty impressive at Bendigo. Yeah. As we said off air, they've still got to keep improving, don't they? You know, that was a maiden. He's going to have to go and do it.
Sorry to butt in, but he won, the maiden was an easy win, but he was going to win it at the 800.
Yep.
And he's bred to run. I'm not sure about his dam, but his father, he's bred to run a bit of distance, and if you look after him, you're going to have a really nice horse.
Yeah, well,
12 months time.
We'll be looking after him, that's for sure. Thank you very much for your time, mate. Much appreciated. Thanks for everything you've done for us. I know we've only been here a couple of years, but you were very welcoming for us, and it made it a lot easier when I was dropping horses off and Mick was getting stuck interviewing about stuff. You were really good. So thanks a lot, and best for everything that's in the future. Thanks, mate.
No problem.